Hello all you beautiful people, and welcome back to EUC Way of Life. This is just a quick rundown of the S22 and how it does in the snow. I am in Washington State, and we don't typically get this kind of snow until around February, so it was an absolute blast and pleasure to take one of my wheels out in the snow while I had the chance. More than likely it'll be gone again tomorrow. I'm sure a few of you already know from my last video and couple of posts and my YouTube short, my V2 T4 is completely toasted, won't turn on at all, and still waiting alien rides to respond to that. Kind of unfortunate that I was told to put the wheel back together and, quote, ride it, and I put it back together and it no longer turned on. So just food for thought on that. I did make the comparisons on the V1 and V2 and how to replace the driver board that affects the display and the lights, and that the V2 is a little bit more intricate than the V1. The S22 here does still have the stock tire. I know a lot of people are not a fan of the stock tire and have been swapping it out. I personally think, yes, it is a little difficult to turn tightly on, if you would say. It's not as nimble. However, I haven't really had any complaints on it. I haven't had any need for any performance difference in characteristics from what it provides. And you could see here, I was the first to tear up this trail. No footprints, no dog prints, no nothing. Fortunately, my camera hit a fern right there and flung snow all over it, so you will see these little dots for the rest of the video. I, with my obviously face shield covered in snow helmet, could not see that and did not get the chance to wipe it off. I do have the suspension raised to the upper limit. I do have the CNC sliders, and they are the My E-Wheels ones with the 4 and not the 6 bearing wheels, and I absolutely love it. I mean, this wheel, when it came out, I was hesitant on it when I rode the prototype or pre-production S20. I thought it was a little girthy for my liking. Once I bought it, I really kind of fell in love with it. It's from having the Master, the T4s, the S18s, the Hero, and the S22, this is still one of my favorite wheels. Yes, the suspension is a little stiff without the CNC sliders, but power to weight ratio, accessories, looks, whatever you want to call it, the S22, in my opinion, is unbeat for the price. The Master is just bare bones, the T4 is just bare bones, and the Hero is obviously a dead wheel now. I have not ridden this wheel previously in snow, sleet, slush, or anything, so I was, a little hesitant at first. However, on concrete pavement with the snow and the slush, this wheel had zero problems. I did slow down quite a bit for turning. I had one point that I didn't catch on video before this ride that I kind of slid a little bit. It felt like a drift. However, it did amazingly well. I had no problems at all. When I got down to 507, people were like, my car had a hard time getting here. And I was like, well, this is kind of, one of the reasons to have something like this. It's portable, it's fun, it's a new means of transportation, and pretty much no matter the environment, you could take these out and get somewhere with them. Would I rather risk taking my vehicle and potentially getting in an accident, dealing with car insurance, having my rates go up and all that, or hop on my unicycle, throw on a helmet, and ride down to the local grocery store, tap room, or whatever? It just seems like less of a risk to take the wheel and a lot more fun. Like, why not? As you can see, I'm again wearing no padding at all, or wrist guards, knee braces, anything of the above. I just have the helmet on. I thought about, because the snow and my first time in about a year riding in the snow, that I should throw on, my dual axis knee guards, my dual axis elbow guards, my wrist guards, just precautionary safety in case the wheel loses its traction for whatever reason and I go down. But again, my whole reason around owning the wheels is portability and just the quick being able to hop on it and go. I don't like the fact of gearing up for 10-15 minutes and then having to gear down. Having this lit up vest I'm wearing, I knew I was going to be riding back at night, so I wanted to bring it with me, is about as far as I go beyond the helmet. I do have a helmet light as well that's very bright. They're magnetic. If you guys want a link, I will drop it in the description below, but they're modular. You can sling it on the back of every helmet. They're super bright. They're RGB. They're super, super cool. But again, it just proves my point of how I ride, that I didn't need that gear. Yes, it could have saved me, but I rode there at 18, 20, 25 miles an hour without a problem, and I actually rode back at about 30 miles an hour in the dark without a problem. So I just choose not to wear gear. This wheel felt no less stable on the slush and snow, even on the trail at the beginning of the video where it's just snow, than it does on off-roading or regular pavement. It was an absolute blast. There was no sketchy points in my opinion, and it did what it needed to do. And I love this wheel. It's a great wheel. It's still a first batch. It potentially has an unpinned motor. Free Motion said it's about 2 weeks out until I finally get the replacement, which if you watched my CNC slider video, it shouldn't be that hard to replace the motor. I'm hoping it's just a whole assembly, tire and all. When I get it, I will do a video on it and show everybody, because I'm sure a lot of people will be getting them and not everyone will probably be up to the task. However, it's probably going to be easy and straightforward, so just keep an eye out for that video. I have seen some Chinesium hub motor bolts, hubless motor, whatever you want to call it, where people are breaking the heads off, so I will go into depth on that when I do it, just like I did with the CNC sliders, and if there's any issues at all in doing the swap with those. You can see here I'm just crossing through slush and snow, and none of it had a problem at all. I'm just about to 507, and it was an absolute lovely ride on the S22. Again, I would highly recommend this wheel to anybody, and it's a great wheel. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and have a beautiful day, you beautiful people.